Okay, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning,
We
sir.
are now live, so we can start now.
Yeah.
मॅडम सुरू करायला काय हरकत नाही, आपण सुरू करू शकता.
Okay.
लाईव्ह झालोय आपण सुरू.
Okay. Good morning, students. On behalf of, I will first share the screen. Okay. Good morning, students. On behalf of Kirti M. Dungarsi College, Mumbai, myself Manali Anil Sawant and my co-teacher Indumati Malkar welcomes you on this virtual classroom. As we know, we are started with our subject Organization of Commerce on 9th November. So this is our second lecture and we are going to just recap whatever we learned in the last lecture. Last lecture we completed we started with our commerce subject and we learned about the activities, different activities which carried by human being, that are economic activities and non-economic activities. Apart from that, we complete the topic regarding business. What is business and what are the features of business? I'm just taking the recap of that and then we will move to the next topic of today. So last lecture we learned about the business definition. That definition was given by two different authorities. One of that, Professor Hane, who says business activities are those human activities which are directed towards what? Towards the production and processing of wealth. Another authority known as Professor Pride, Hughes and Kapoor, they said that the organized efforts of individuals to produce and sell for what purpose? To earn the profit. What we are producing and selling? We are producing goods and services that satisfy society's need, that satisfied human beings. So we are doing all the economic activities which involve the production and selling not only of goods but also services to satisfy human beings, and the entire activity we call it as business. Now we learn about its features. Now the feature says that an economic activity, business is what? Business is an economic activity. There are two parties. That is, one person will be the purchaser and another will be the seller. The third feature is business is profit motive. The production of goods and services. Business involves the exchange of goods and services. They are involved in dealing in goods and services. It is continuity in dealing. uncertain return. Whenever we are doing the business, it is not sure that we are getting the whatever we expect, or all the time we are not earning the profit. There are the chances of loss also. Therefore, the business is nothing but the element of risk. And obviously, why we are doing the business? To satisfy our customer. So all these are the features regarding our business. So this thing we completed in our last lecture. This is just a recap of that. Now our today's topic is profession. Now, you know who is the professionals? We see so many peoples around us in the society: doctor, lawyer, engineer, chartered accountant, company secretary. These are so many peoples we are who are providing their services which are based on their knowledge. For here, they are not selling their services, they are providing their services, and in return they are charging something, and that something, money, we call it as fees. So these are the professionals. In this picture we see there are doctors, engineer, architecture. All these peoples are belongings to the professions. So profession is what? Profession is that part of economic activities under which a person uses his educational knowledge. He is not producing or distributing any kind of goods, but he is using his educational knowledge, he is using his special skill, and with the help of his skill and knowledge, he renders service. Means he provides service. For what purpose? For earning some income. See, whenever we are sick, we are going to the doctor. Doctor does not sell us medicine or tablets. But what he is doing, he is with the help of his knowledge and special skill, he examine us, he find out what the exact reason why we are sick, and on that basis, he diagnose our illness and prescribe us medicine. So this entire procedure he is following because he is a knowledgeable person, he is an educational one, and he have the knowledge of that particular thing. He use his skill, and by doing all this, he is providing us the services, and in return we are paying him fees. So that is his earning for income. So that is nothing but profession. So profession is what? Profession is a part of activity. Which activity? It is economic activity under which a person uses what he is using. He is using his educational knowledge as well as special skill. For what purpose? For rendering the services so that they can earn income. Now, this profession have some features. Which are they? The first feature of profession is aim. Now, what is the aim behind this profession? Obviously, this profession is what? Profession is nothing but an economic activity. Now, why we are following the economic activity? Because we are earning certain monies. So obviously, whenever a person engage in profession, his aim is to earn money in the form of fees. So every profession is practiced for what? For earning money. They also render services to their client and solve their problem. So what is the first feature of profession? The first feature of profession is aim. What is the aim behind it? The aim behind any profession is to earn money. How they can earning money? By rendering services to their client and solve their problem. For example, whenever we have certain problems regarding our property, we can go towards the lawyer, and he will suggest us what are the legal formalities, what are the legal procedure we have to follow. So what the lawyer is using? Lawyer is using his knowledge and skill, and in that way the lawyer provide us the service, and in return we are paying him fees. So every professional, whether it is a lawyer, it is engineer, it is doctor, they are practiced to earn money. Now, does the profession require qualification? Obviously, yes, because this is only the economic activity which is based on your qualification and knowledge. Unless and until you have the qualification, you cannot enter into the field of profession. What we are doing here, we are providing our services which is based on our knowledge and experience with our qualification. So qualification is must in profession. A profession can be practiced only after acquiring required qualification. See, in a hospital, we observe doctors as well as nurses. Doctor just prescribe the medicine, but nurses are doing all the other things, means giving injection, putting saline and all that. So we cannot say that the nurse is also qualified as a doctor. No, she don't have that much knowledge. She may be experienced, she may be skilled, but she don't have that is degree. So what is required is degree. What is required is qualification. Each profession has a certain set of body of knowledge. Every profession requires knowledge, and the requirement is again different. Whenever we are saying medical practitioner is a professional, oh yes, he is a professional. But in that, there are dentist is there, skin specialist is there, eye specialist is there. So they have certain special kind of knowledge also required in the profession. This knowledge has to be acquired only by systematic and formal training. So you should be graduate, you should have complete your 12th, then you have to clear your entrance test, then you have to take the degree from the reputed organization or university. Then only you are capable to acquire the profession. But only that is not enough. Apart from your degree, apart from your knowledge, you require formal training also. So one cannot practice profession unless this knowledge is acquired. Okay, I will give here one example. Whenever a person completed his LLB, we cannot call him as advocate unless and until he registered himself, unless and until he take the proper training under the experienced lawyer and he registered himself with the bar council, he cannot do the practice. So a person cannot practice profession unless he acquired the knowledge, unless he acquired formal training and registration. So qualification is must for the professional. Now, what the financial return he gets? Obviously, the profession is an economic activity. So why we are doing the economic activities? To earn some money. So what return we call in the profession? See here in this diagram, we see there are books that is nothing but the representative of our knowledge, of our experience and skill. And because of we are using our knowledge and skill, we are charging certain amount, and that amount we call it as fees. So professional get fees in exchange of their services. They are not selling anything, but they are using their skill and knowledge, and in return, they will charge the money, and that money we call it as fees. So professional get fees in exchange of their service. Income received by professional is not fixed. Obviously, see, whenever you are going to visit a doctor, and if you are suffering only some flu and that much only, so that doctor will give you certain medicine, prescribe you certain medicine, and you have to pay the fees. But after 2-3 days, you cannot cure, and then again you visit to the doctor. In that case, he will suggest you to do certain take certain reports, blood check and all that, and for that extra fees are required. So if the illness is more, obviously the fees are more. Again, if you are going to the lawyer to discuss to take certain affidavit, he may charge 500 to 1000. But if you go there and for registration of the property, the fees are different. So therefore the income received by professional is not fixed like a salary. Professionals can be employed in an organization or self-employed. As we see in the government hospitals, there are doctors, they are doing service there, so they are doing the employment. But there are so many doctors, they have their own clinic, they have their own hospitals. So these people are self-employed. So professionals can be employed in an organization or self-employed. A working chartered accountant gets salary, but those who practice privately, that is self-employed, get fees. If you become CA, you become chartered accountant, and if you take the job in any CA firm, in that you will get the regular salary. But if you open your own practice, if you start your own practice, you have your own office, then here you will charge fees from your client. So financial returns of profession is nothing but fees. Now, does the profession require capital to do the professional activities? Profession can be practiced independently, or professionals accept a job in the organization. So in that case, independent practicing professional requires huge capital for setting his practice. For example, if a person become a lawyer, he registered himself, and if he join any law firm, in that case, he don't want to invest anything, but he is doing the job there, and in return, he will get the salary. So in that case, he does not want to invest any kind of capital. But if the lawyer wants to do the practice independently, then he have to his own office, either own office or the office on rental basis, and then he have to set up the office. He have certain juniors with him, so obviously for that purpose he required more money to be invested, and that's why he required capital. So professional persons can do the job, can be the employment, enter into the employment field, or can do the practice separately, and depends on that they require capital. It differs from profession to profession. How much capital you require? It is different, because if you are the architecture, then your requirement of capital is different. If you are CA, your capital requirement for office is different. So it is depend upon the profession to profession. Does it require registration? Does he should be the member of any organization? We will see. Some professions have a council which regulates the activities of professionals. These professionals have to register themselves with their respective council and get certificate of practice. What it means? Here we can explain this with the help of one example. Bar Council of India for lawyers. If a person passed LLB exam, after completing LLB exam, he have to do the juniorship with one of the senior advocate. And after completing that, he have to register himself with the Bar Council of India for lawyer, and then he will get the registration number. He will get the certificate that he is eligible to do practice anywhere in India. So in this case, the registration is must. It is required. Second example of chartered accountant. Once you become the chartered accountant, you have to do the articleship with any CA or CA firm, and then you have to register yourself with ICAI. Then only you will become the qualified chartered accountant, and you are eligible to render service in the society. The same thing happened for doctors. They should be the member of IMA, that is Indian Medical Association. So for profession, it is necessary that registration is required. The code of conduct mentioned by their respective council must be strictly followed by every professional. Every practicing professional has to acquire membership from the respective council. Whenever you are doing the practice and you are the professional, it is necessary that you have to acquire your membership from the respected authority. Next is non-transferability. Does the professional is transferable? See, in this picture, we see there are two arrows which indicate that transferability. But does the profession is transferable? No. The big no. The profession cannot be transferred. If I am a teacher, I cannot transfer my profession to someone else that go and do this job of teacher. No, it cannot be, because this profession is totally depend upon what? Depend upon the personal skill, personal knowledge, personal experience and degree. So it cannot be transferable. Profession cannot be transferred to other person on the will of professionals. We cannot transfer it. For example, a doctor cannot transfer his medical practice to his son or daughter who has not completed concerned medical education. If a person is a well-known doctor of our area, he have a very big hospital, and if his son or his daughter is not having the MBBS degree, he cannot transfer his profession to his son or daughter. Similarly, a person who is a lawyer, he have his law firm, he cannot transfer his law firm to other person if that person is not lawyer or he is not LLB, he don't have the knowledge of law. So profession cannot be transferable. Now, what kind of work it is? What is the nature of work of profession? Here in this picture, you see, whenever we are providing service, in return, what we are charging? We are charging fees. So professional charges fees in exchange of what? In exchange of expert services. You are providing services, and that's why you are in a position to charge fees. For example, an architect design the layout of office. In return, what they will charge? They will charge the fees. So whatever we are paying to these professionals, they may be architecture, lawyer, engineer, doctor, we are giving them money, and that money, because they are providing us services which are based on their expert knowledge and experience, that is called as fees. So whenever the service is provided, the person who is obtained the service, he will pay the fees to the profession. That is the nature of work of the profession. Okay, so up to this we see the second economic activity, that is profession. Now we can going to learn about the next economic activity, that is employment. Now, as we know, employment means what? We are doing the job elsewhere. We are doing the service, and that is called as employment. Now here, employment is which type of activity? It is economic activity, because a person who is doing the job, he is earning his wages or salary. So obviously, employment is an economic activity. Now in the picture, if you see, there are the group of people. Now what this group of people they are doing? They are working. Working for whom? Working for others. Now that others, we can call him as boss, okay, or other person. So there are the group of people who are working for others. Now what we call them? The persons who are working for others are called as employee. The person who is working for others is called as employee. And there is a relationship between employee and employer. The person who gives the job, or on whose behalf the job is done is called as employer. Okay, so in the picture we see the people who are working for others, and therefore there is a relation maintained between these two parties. The one is called employee and another is called employer. Employer is the person who offers the job, the person who appoints different persons to do the work for his office, for his business, for his industry. So employer is one who offers the job. And who is employee? Employee are the person who accept the job is called employee. For example, if there is a firm ABC Limited, which is owned by Mr. A. So Mr. A is employer. What he is doing, he is offering the job to others, and XYZ, they are working in that ABC Private Limited. So this XYZ, they are working for Mr. A, and therefore these persons are called employee as they accept the job, and in return they will get the remuneration on the terms and conditions agreed by both of them. So employment is an economic activity. Now, what are the features of employment? The first feature of employment is its aim. Now, we saw in the profession also the aim. The aim is same in all the economic activities. The main aim is to earn money for meeting needs of the employees and employer. Now you have the question in mind, the need of employee is correct because he is doing the work with the employer and he will get the salary or wages. Because of that salary and wages, he can able to meet his need. Now what about employer? As the employees are efficient, they are doing the proper work, they are completing the work within the given limit, they can achieve the target. So obviously the employer get more and more profit. And that's why it is saying that the employment is also the aim to earn money from both the point of view, from both the sides, that is employees and employer. Employer earn more and more profit while employees get salaries, wages. If they are doing the excellent job, they can get bonus also. They can get increment every year. So they are earning money from both the side, both the parties, they are engaged in earning money through the employment. So this is the aim, to earn money and meeting the need of the employees and employer. Now, does the employment require qualification? Yes, qualification is required. Now depend upon the requirement of the employment. Each job requires some qualification. Okay. Skilled or unskilled labor is required as per the nature of job. Now, which type of labors you require? Whether you require skilled workers or unskilled worker is also okay. So it is depend upon the nature of job. For skilled job, some specific qualifications are required. Here we take the example, if a person is appointed as a nurse in a hospital, so she have the qualification, she should complete the training. So qualification is must to become a nurse. But in the same hospital, if the ward boy is there and for that job, no qualification is required. So no qualification for unskilled job is necessary, like office boy and so on. So whether it required qualification or not, depend on what? Depend upon the nature of your job. Some jobs required qualification, some job required specialized skill, while the other jobs does not require qualification. For example, whenever we are given the contract to the interior decorator for our office. So that person having the qualification, having the knowledge, but he appoint the carpenters. They may be not qualified, but still they are skilled labor. So The qualification is depend upon the nature of job. Now, what in return they are getting? What are the monetary returns in the employment are called? Wages or salaries is given as a financial return to employees after completion of work. Whenever the employees they are completing their work, after entire month is over, they are getting salary. So salary is paid on monthly basis. Now what about the wages? Wages are paying on daily basis or weekly basis. So wages or salaries is given as a financial return to whom? To the employee when they will get after the completion of work. Wages are decided in advance before appointment. See, whenever we appoint certain person for 2-3 days to do a particular job, so we will agree that we will pay 200 rupees per day or 500 rupees per day. So wages are always decided in advance before the appointment. Wages are paid daily or weekly. As we discussed, wages are always paid on daily basis or weekly basis, while the salary is always paid on monthly basis. Along with salary, other benefits like bonus, quarters to stay, subsidized food in canteen, etc. also can be given to employees. See, big companies, well-known companies or certain government offices, they are providing the subsidized foods or they are providing the canteen facilities where foods are available at very reasonable rate or very low rate. So that facility is also provided to the employees. Some organizations, they are giving bonus during Diwali or during Dasara or during Ganpati festival. They are offering bonus to their employees. So along with salary, all these benefits are also given to the employees depending upon the nature of organization. So what are the monetary returns of employment? Monetary returns of employment are wages or salaries. When the wages will give? Wages will give on daily or weekly basis, while salaries are paid on monthly basis. Now next is capital. Now does capital is required for employment purpose? What do you think? No, obviously no. Because whenever we are doing the job with anyone else, we don't have to invest anything from our pocket, and that's why capital is not at all required for employment. No capital is required for employment because employer invests and provides everything to the employee for completing the job. So obviously for employment, no capital is required. The next feature is, does it require registration like professionals? As we saw, to become the practicing lawyer, you have to register yourself with the Bar Council of India. So to become the employee, does you require registration? Obviously no, because the employment is depend upon your skill, unskill, qualification, and that all the things are depend upon the nature of work. So obviously the registration is not at all required. Then what to do regarding the employment? No registration is required. Every employee has to follow the rules and regulation mentioned in the terms and conditions of employment contract. But whenever the person selected as an employee by the organization, there is a contract between the organization and the employee regarding the terms and conditions of the employment. So whatever terms and conditions are discussed at the time of appointment, he have to follow the same. But registration is not at all required for employment. Now, does the employment is transferable? Does it transferable? Obviously no. Previously, in government department, certain jobs are transferable as petty case. If someone dies, then they will offer the job to his or her son or daughter. But actually, the jobs are not transferable. So no, the jobs are not at all transferable. Employment cannot be transferred from one person to another. For example, if a teacher retires, then he cannot transfer his job to his son or daughter, even if that son or daughter have the well qualified for that post, but the job cannot be transferred from one person to another. So employment is also cannot be transferable. What kind of work it is? What are the nature of work of employment? Every employee is expected what? To complete the given job to him. The nature of job decides the nature of work. So it is depend upon what type of job you are doing, what are the requirements of your particular job, and as per that you have to do your work. Okay, so all this is about our third economic activity, that is employment. In employment we see what is the employment, what are how many parties are involved. There are two parties, employer and employee. What will be the monetary returns called? Monetary returns called are either wages or salary. When the wages paid on daily basis or weekly basis, while salaries are paid on monthly basis. Does it require qualification? So depend upon the nature of the employment. Does it require capital? No, capital not at all required. Registration is also not at all required, and the jobs are also not transferable. Now we are going to move towards the objective. Now, what are the business objectives? Now the business objectives or the objectives behind the business is classified into two major categories. Which are they? They are economic objectives and non-economic objectives. Now, as we know, the economic objectives are related to what? Are related to earn money. While our social objectives are related with our society. As we know, economic objectives are related with money. So first economic objective will be to earn profit. Profit is required for what? For survival of business and its growth. Just imagine if you are running the business and you are not able to earn profit, then how it is possible for you to purchase raw material, to pay the salary for your workers, to manage the business? It is not possible. And that's why we call it as profit is a backbone of the business. Without profit, it is not possible for you to survive your business. Then how you can grow your business? So profit is must. The first economic objective of any kind of business is earning profit. Now next objective of economic objective is customer. The searching new customer is one of the economic objective. Why we are calling them as economic objective? Because if you are searching new customers every now and then means you are expanding your business. You are expanding your business means you are increasing your profit. So obviously earning profit is one of the economic objective. So searching new customer is also one of the economic objective. Business organizations have to work hard. For what purpose? To create the new customers and also to maintain the existing customer. While we are creating new customer, we should not deny our existing customer. Our existing customer should be continue with us. Now, while we are doing the business, that they should be innovatives. It is a development or positive change which result into improvement in product or process of production. It has to spend money on R&D, that is research and development, market survey, use of technology, etc. So while we are doing the business, what we require? We require the innovations. How we can innovate? We can innovative ideas can be used to improve the product. We can use innovative technologies so that the quality of product is excellent and we can uh, achieve more and more target. We can capture more and more market, ultimately result into huge profit. And last point is best possible use of resources, as any organization is in need of the uh, using their resources. The resources we have to use carefully so that to avoid the wastage, reduce cost of production, then only we can increase our profit. So resources are scarce everywhere, whether it is a country like India or any other country, whatever resources we have, they are always limited. They are scarce and have alternative use also. So they should be used to its maximum and should not be wasted. Optimum use of resources ultimately leads to increasing profit. For example, if we are producing the goods, the cost of production is 80 rupees and we are selling it for 100 rupees. In that case, we are earning profit of 20 rupees. But if you want to earn profit more, in that case, we cannot increase our selling price, but we will try to reduce the cost of production by using our resources optimally, properly, and we can curtail the cost of production. Because of that, our cost of production reduce from 80 rupees to 70 rupees and our profit will increase from 20 rupees to 30 rupees. So this can be possible. So best possible use of resources is also required. So today we started with our business objectives. In that we see the economic objectives. In economic objectives, what are the economic objectives of business? They are nothing but earning profit. They can earn profit by expanding the market, by searching new customers. In that case, they have to use the innovative ideas so that more and more persons, more and more customers can attract towards them. And last but not least, they have to use their resources in the excellent way so that the cost of production can be reduced and they can increase the profit. Okay. So today, I think we have to stop here. The next part, that is social objectives of business, we are going to discuss in our next lecture.
Hello.
हाँ हाँ बोला सर.
हा मॅडम,
कॅन वी स्टॉप हिअर?
अजून राहिलाय का मॅडम?
नाही, राहिला नाहीये,
नाही
झालंय
नाही, तुमचं पूर्ण करूया. ओके ओके
माझं.
ओके, थँक्यू
झाला
मॅम.
टॉपिक
ॲक्च्युली
कम्प्लीट.
हां, थँक्यू. इंदू मॅम आणि मनाली मॅम, आपण खूप छान पद्धतीनं आपलं सादरीकरण आणि आपला विषय मांडला. त्याकरता एस-सी-आर-टीच्या वतीनं मी आपला आभार मानतो. आणि आज आपला जो विषय आहे आणि विषयाच्या अनुषंगानं जो इथे शिकवला गेला आहे, तो टॉपिक आज संपला आहे. त्याकरता सर्वांचे आभार आणि आपण इथे आता लाईव्ह स्ट्रीमिंग बंद करतोय. थँक्यू मॅम.
थँक्यू सर.
बरोबर.